Welcome back to another vlog. My name is Chris and I am ready to go to the pool with my kids. Such a beautiful day. It is summertime and I have my book of choice, which is gonna be The Starving Saints, and this is by Caitlin Starling. This is the cover without the dust jacket. This is a special edition from Aardvark. I did pick this for my June Aardvark and oh my god, look how stunning it is. Oh my god, so stunning. So I did start this yesterday. I'm on chapter 4 and so far this is giving me all the vibes. This is giving me all the vibes. Let me get the dust jacket so you can really see how beautiful this book is. This is the dust jacket. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. Look at that. And this is a gothic gay. Apparently this is a transfixing fever dream of medieval horror, and pretty much this story is about a woman, and I believe there's 3 POVs we're going to be following, and they are under siege. This is in medieval times. They're under siege in this castle. So pretty much they're stuck in this castle because there's pretty much like a war going on outside the castle, and to protect themselves they are under siege. They are trying to find all the scraps and food, and they're pretty much have 15 days until they're run out of food. And so we're following Focine, I believe is how you say her name. She is in charge of making food out of nothing. And so obviously this is impossible, and the king is like, no, you're gonna make it possible, because apparently she found a way to sanitize water to make it drinkable. And so now the king has given her this title of bring us food and water from nothing. So she's trying to figure that out. She's like, oh my gosh, you know, like how am I gonna make this happen? So it's the Constant Lady and her saints, and they have arrived despite the barricaded gates, offering succor in return for devotion. So they now have abundance of food. They're like saved by these by the Constant Lady and her saints. And the 3 women that we're following, they're very skeptical. They're like, what the hell? Like, how did this lady just come here and make this happen? We're following the 3 women, and they're the only ones that see their situation for what it is. And this is so intriguing to me. Apparently it has cannibalism. It's, like I said, gothic, it's gay, and that's really all you have to tell me with a book. So I'm very intrigued to read this. The writing is very good, and I'm just enjoying this. I feel like I'm gonna read this slow, soak up every word in this book. So I'm excited to start off this vlog with Starving Saints. And then as for the other books I want to get to this vlog, I'm gonna just go with what I'm feeling. I'm just gonna let you know and update you along the way. So for now, we are gonna start The Starving Saints. Welcome back, vlog. As you can see, I dyed my hair. I had my blondish hair for a little over a year, and I was just I kind of want to go back to my natural hair. I felt like the blonde was kind of damaging my hair, and I was losing a lot of hair, and I just want my natural healthy hair back. And not gonna lie, I missed my dark hair. I missed it. So I didn't really do anything to it. I had some like night roller that I put on my bangs, so that's why it looks a little too crazy right now, but I like it. I feel rejuvenated. So anyway, yes, just stating the obvious. I did have a check-in on The Starving Saints. I am still not too far along. I am about 60 pages in, and I am really enjoying the aesthetic of the book. I love gothic books. I just love it. The way that the author is writing, it's just, you can envision everything. Like, the writing is so well done, and I just feel like I'm in this cathedral with all these people feeling what they're feeling, and that's when you know the author is just great at her job. So yes, I am really enjoying this. So far, what I know already, because the only thing I knew about this going into the book was that there was people stuck in this cathedral and they are about to run out of food, and then these saints come in. So we are slowly getting introduced to our female main character. So far I'm really enjoying her. I like how she's very witty and she's very sarcastic, but she is very fearful because the king wants her to make food out of nothing, and she's like, well, he'll probably throw me to the curb if, you know what I mean, I don't do this for him, but it's literally impossible. So she's just really in a rut. And then now she has his main guard pretty much watching her the whole time because he's like, you're not being quick enough. So now she's feeling she's being watched, she's under pressure, and the tension between them, because I hear this is polyamorous and sapphic, so you can already feel the tension in the room, and I'm really enjoying that. So yeah, I'm really enjoying these vibes. When I'm in the mood for like a gothic and, you know, heavy like kind of vibe, I'm reaching for this. But I also started The Perfect Neighbors on my Kindle, and I was hearing some traction on this on socials. So I was like, okay, cool, let me add it. I was hearing like it's a great popcorn thriller, and so I started that. I'm only on chapter 4, and I'm going into this blind, so you can look up the synopsis. I have no idea what this is about. I just know that it's fast-paced, it's thrilling, and it's very twisty. And when I'm in that kind of mood, I'm grabbing this book. So right now, chapter 4, immediately by chapter 1, it was already getting into the, oh wow, we're in the plot. We're in the plot. And I love when a book does that. So the first chapter was very, like, it left us on a what? Like, wait, what the hell is going on? And then now we're going back to the beginning. So I guess it was starting off with like the end or almost end in our first chapter, which I really like when books do that. And now chapter 2 starts off with getting introduced to our main character that we're following. I actually don't remember her name, but she's a male woman and she lives in rural Missouri. She's so rural and so in the middle of nowhere, she walks. So she walks like miles upon miles delivering mail to the locals in this small town of 2,000 people. And she actually really enjoys the job. You are sensing a past with her. We haven't quite got there yet, but she's kind of hinting at a dark past. And we are also getting introduced to her neighbor. And her neighbor is a very sophisticated, classy woman, has the biggest house in the town. And our main character that we're following, she's really good with gardening and planting and all that stuff. So her neighbor was like, oh, I saw that your garden was so great, you know, since you moved here so quickly, can you help me with my garden? So, and she'll pay her. So they're just chit-chatting and talking about how she wants the garden and stuff. And her husband comes home. I believe he is a architect, or he does construction. And he's very well known in the town. So they're very well known. They know everything. They know everybody. And the husband comes, and it gets a little like weird. Like our main character's like, okay, the vibes just got super weird, and the husband just feels awkward. We have that couple that we got introduced to, and then she's also very paranoid. So when she's home by herself, she's like, I'm 33, you know, everyone lives alone. I don't know why I have to feel so like scared or something, but she just feels like someone's always watching her. That's kind of where I'm at right now. There's not much going on, but there's still like this, I want to know what's going on. A page turner. The chapters are very short as well, which I really like. And it's just reading very easy. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. So we'll see how that goes. So right now I am kind of going back and forth between these two books, and I will give you guys an update in the next check-in. So sorry I did not check in with you reading this book. I finished A Curse Carved in Bone by Danielle L. Jensen, and I was very excited for this book because book 1 was a 5-star read for me. I love this book. It was so good. It was so action-packed. The romance was romancing. It was very, when it got hot, it got hot. It was good. It was steamy, and it was very tasteful. So I was very eager to start this one because the way the book 1 ended, I was like, oh, it's gonna get so good now. She's gonna like really dive into her powers. She's really gonna dive into who she really is, and the romance is gonna be even more romancing. I was wrong. I was a little underwhelmed. Oh my gosh, I'm so disappointed. I did rate this a 3.5 star. It was still a good read, but coming from book 1, I was like, oh my gosh. So my main things that I will say without spoiling anything, because obviously if you haven't read book 1, you're not really gonna know what I'm talking about. But from an outside perspective, the romance, so we were like fully in it in this book, but the ending I understand. the romance got a little, or the relationship between the, you know, love interest got a little bumpy because we got some information. And Freya is just upset at Bjorn, like almost the whole 60% of the book. She's upset at him. She keeps like throwing him just nasty words and just being very like mean. And I get it, you know, I understand why she was upset, but 60% of the book, like, it's a romantasy. I want the romance, and I loved Bjorn, and I still love Bjorn even with this, because he was trying so hard to like just be nice and make her understand, and she was kind of being like annoying when it came to that. And I was just like, Freya, can you like stop the shit? Like, can you stop acting like that? And it just got super repetitive. It just got very, very repetitive. I felt like I was reading the same scene over and over again, with like her being the way she was and the whole situation. So I was just feeling very repetitive. The romance just wasn't good enough for me. It got better. The last 30% of this book, 30 to 40%, that's when I was feeling like, oh, there we go. Here, that's the vibe I thought I was gonna get the whole book. And for this, I was just disappointed. Like, I wanted 80% at least of this book to give me that feeling, and I only got it in the last like 40-30%. So yeah, I did rate this a 3.5 star. I feel like coming from book one, this just did not deliver the way I thought it was gonna deliver, unfortunately. And another thing, why? Tell me why, how? I got the paperback of that because I wanted it to match, and it doesn't. And that's gonna drive me absolute bonkers. So, oh, that drives me crazy, but it's still a beautiful cover. But yeah, underwhelmed, 3.5. I expected a lot better. Hello vlog. I wanted to give you an update and check in with you on The Perfect Neighbors, because that is the book I've been reading more of. And like I said in the beginning, this book grabbed me in the beginning. It was very mysterious. It was you know, interesting. I wanted to know what was going on. We are now about 35% in, and I am feeling a little different now. Our main character, her name is Olivia. She is now getting closer to the family next door, her neighbors, the husband and wife, and they have a daughter, Gracie, that is 6 years old. And apparently now she is now babysitting for the daughter once a week, and then she is also helping with the garden. And the mother is acting very weird and sketchy. We're being told that she has an alcohol addiction, and so does her husband, apparently. And Olivia is just making it sound like the mother is this incapable parent and she treats her daughter like crap. And, you know, there's certain moments where, you know, she'll get a little loud with her daughter. She's grabbed her. So we're just seeing that there may be things happening behind closed doors that we don't know. So this is what the picture is being painted to us. And so, you know, the wife is really seeming like a little bit of a POS. And Olivia is just like very disturbed by it. She's not really liking her anymore. She's just like, you know, what kind of mother would do that? What kind of wife would treat her husband like that? So that's kind of the vision that we have for the wife and the neighbor. And then Olivia, I feel like, so in the beginning, she's this really kind, innocent feeling person, very to herself. And now she's like taken a 180. I feel like her personality has changed from one page to the next. And I'm like, this is the same POV? A couple times I'm catching myself kind of going back and making sure I was reading the right POV. I mean, we're only reading one POV, so I was like, what the heck? And so her personality is kind of like, I don't know, like very different from the beginning. She's very, like, she's cursing a lot now. She's kind of like having eyes for someone, and it just felt like out of nowhere. This now romance is like, wait, what? Now you have the hots for this person? Like, I don't want to say much because I don't want to spoil anything, but it just feels like out of left field. Like her character, like her actual character, and this romance that is conspiring. So yeah, I'm not really vibing with our main character right now. It is just feeling very chaotic. I feel like it's getting a little disjointed from the original kind of introduction of the plot. And like I'm still reading. I'm still like interested, but not as interested as I was in the beginning. I'm feeling myself kind of like falling off, like not wanting to read it. So I hate that. I hate that feeling, and I want to know what's going on. So I'm gonna continue to read it. But right now it's just feeling a little chaotic. So I'm hoping things get better in the next half of the book, because we're almost halfway. So I'm hoping things pick up. I will let you guys know in the next check-in. And nobody asked, but I just got this tripod for like to hold, but it also turns into, this part actually opens up to like a tabletop tripod. So it has 3 legs. And then this is a control that you can take out and, you know, you can record. And I got this because, you know, there's times where I'm just laying in my bed and I don't feel like, you know, setting up the whole tripod and getting up. And this stabilizes my camera a bit because I have shaky hands. And I am loving this thing. And it was only like $10. Good morning vlog. It is the next day and I finished The Perfect Neighbors. Now, I rated this a 2-star. This started off so good. The first chapter immediately threw you into the plot. It kept the mysterious element going. The hints that they were leading up to just sounded like it was gonna be this like really entertaining plot. I last updated you guys, I was almost at the 50% mark. And from even before that, I was already feeling like, what is going on? It started to get a little messy, disjointed, and it kept like that. It kept on like that for the rest of the book. I just thought maybe the ending is gonna pack a punch, and although I didn't expect the ending, was like so far-fetched, and I could look at far-fetched, you know, like I can really be like, I don't care if it's, you know, unrealistic, because obviously it's a fiction book. You know, I can look past a lot of things, but this one was just felt like so stupid. It just felt dumb, and it did not do it for me. Unfortunately, that female main character, I liked her in the beginning, and then all of a sudden I was like, ew, I cannot stand her. I couldn't stand her by the end of this book. And like I said, just the plot, I thought the neighbors were going to be more than what the story was giving me. And I thought they were going to be the wow factor in the end. And they weren't. It was like they just totally forgot about the neighbors, and then it became about someone else. And then the story just like that's it. It ended. And I was just like, what the hell was that? So yeah, I was very underwhelmed. I just felt like this is a book I would have probably loved to DNF, but since I was already so far along, I needed to know. I needed to know what was going on. I needed to know. So unfortunately, I could not DNF it, but I did rate it a 2-star. And yeah, very underwhelmed. I'm gonna have all my focus on The Starving Saints right now. I do have to run some errands for a few hours, and then I'm gonna go home, and that is all I'm gonna be doing today so I can finish that book. Hopefully by today, if not tomorrow. It is the weekend, so I have plenty of time to read. So that is my update right now. I will check in with you guys when I have another update. Okay, so remember I said I was going to read, what is it called? The Starving Saints. I was out all day today running errands. I just got home and my man wants to watch a movie. So I will get to that tomorrow. But while I was running errands, I did listen to an audiobook. It was short. It was like 5 hours long, and I listened to 2 times speed. So I finished it in a matter of shorter hours than that. And it was a really good popcorn thriller. It was The Secrets You Keep or something like that. I'll put it on the screen. But this was really good. I had a fun time. Predictable, yes, of course. But in certain spots, it really did surprise me. So I had a fun time. There was a few times that I was laughing. A few times that I was like, wait, what? So I like that. That is a good popcorn thriller in my opinion. And if I'm going to be in the car, I like something entertaining. And what this essentially is about 2 people that are dating, a man and a woman, and they just recently started dating about a month in. And this is, like I said, a short listen. so I don't want to say a lot. They go to this weekend getaway in a cabin, and things just go wrong. And we start learning little secrets about both people while they're in this cabin, and it was just a fun ride. Maybe you're in a slump or you just want something to just entertain you, I would suggest this one. I rated it a 3.5 star, only because obviously it was a predictable read, but it was still a good time. I enjoyed it. Wanna be in my video? That's what's going on?
Yeah.
He's so cute. Morning vlog. I am about 50% into The Starving Saints, and you know, I wish I just had more time to sit there and read, but I've been so busy, so that's why it's taken me a little longer to finish this book. Now, it is a slower burn, which I am okay with. I'm okay with the slow burn. There are parts, more than not, that I'm just like, I need a little more. So we're finally getting into like a little bit of answers to what's going on, or at least some breadcrumbs, you know, some breadcrumbs, because it may not even be what they're saying. They're just putting out like what they're thinking, what's going on. But some creepy stuff is going on. Some really eerie things are going on right now. And I'm like, ooh. So we're getting to those like cliffhanger chapters of just weird things that are going on in this castle. And we did get introduced to the Constant and her saints. She did come miraculously out of nowhere. And the chapter that I just left off was super creepy because one of the POVs, and she's kind of the person that she has a vendetta. She's in the castle for one reason, which is revenge on one of the guards, the king's guards that wronged her family about 5 years ago. And so she's there trying to seek revenge, and she's also trying to find a way out because she's stuck in this castle. Everyone's starving, things are not looking so good. We're getting into the mystery meat, shall I say. So yeah, I'm really liking her POV. And then the other POV is the guard herself. It feels like all the people there are under the constant spell. They're like in a daze all the time. So the only two people that are pretty much sane right now is the POV that I was just talking about. Her name's Trila. I think that's how you pronounce her name. And yeah, so she's good at hunting. She's good at being in the shadows, you know? And she's always good at finding what's going on without being seen. And I really like her POV. And then the other POV is a main woman that she was a nun before. Her name is Focine. She's our main POV. She's the one that's trying to make food out of nothing. And she's slowly deteriorating because she's so hungry. And that's one thing I really like about this book. You can feel the hunger of these people. You can just feel how desperate they are to find food, to find salvation, to find a way out of this castle, to, you know, find freedom. You can feel all of that. You can feel the eeriness. You can feel the cloudiness around what's going on. And the atmosphere is so good. Like, I can feel that atmosphere reading this book. And that's one thing I love about, you know, books and authors, and how they can just transport you and make you feel what they're writing. So that's one thing I'm really appreciating in this book. And so Focine, she's still trying to figure things out. She has not really gotten that far. There was some clues hinting how the Constant and her saints came about, and she may be involved in that. So I'm really interested to see what's going on with that. And then the guard, she's just in a daze right now. She's pretty much next to the Constant and her saints. She is transfixed on her, and so her POV is kind of like lost right now because she's in this daze-like state. Our main POVs that we're following is Scene and Trila. Oh gosh, I don't know how to say her name. really enjoying where the story's going right now. So we're 50% in. I'm eager to like really snowball to, you know, the fun and the nitty-gritty stuff. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I do have to run some errands. I might take you guys with me to a coffee shop again and just try to get some reading done and just be in the zen of it. So I will check in with you guys when I have the next update. I have finally finished The Starving Saints. I felt like this took forever to finish, and not because of the book, because of me. I don't know what has been happening this month with me, but my brain is so scattered and I can't focus. So yes, it's been taking me a little while to finish books with my eyeballs lately, but we finished it. Let's talk about it. At first, it was so hard for me to like explain what this book felt like when I was reading it. I did rate this a 4-star. Towards the middle, or maybe towards like the 70-ish% mark, I was thinking this was gonna be maybe a 3.5, maybe 4, depending on how the ending. I did land on a 4 because I felt like this is a book that you go into for the vibes, literally. If you love gothic books, this had so much gothic atmosphere. I love the writing. Speaking of atmosphere, was so atmospheric. Like, I felt like I could breathe the air that she was explaining in this book, or how she wrote it. I literally felt like the heaviness of the desperation of these people, and you can feel the hunger in these people. You can just feel the just how intense this scenario was. And man, for an author to make you transport you to feel what a book or what words are saying, it speaks volumes in my opinion. I feel like this author is very, very talented. This was so wild. When I tell you, like, there was times, because of how the wording was, because this is set in like a medieval era, I had to reread it a few times. I was like, wait, what does that mean? Or like, I had to just focus a little more. So it did take a more attention, which is probably why it took longer for me to finish this book, because you do have to just, if you're not used to reading, you know, this all the time, which I love medieval era books, but I don't read it all the time. So yes, to fully like soak in the words, I had to sometimes reread certain things, but that didn't deter from my like experience at all. If anything, it's just helping me evolve as a reader, and I appreciate that. There's certain things that were not really explained, so that was a thing that I was like, oh, I wish we kind of dug deeper into the why, you know, because I'm such a why person. So that's definitely a me thing, which is why I did rate this eventually a 4. But man, the way I felt reading this book was just like exactly how the book is described, as like a fever dream. Oh man, that's exactly how I felt. It literally felt like that. It felt hazy. It felt, you know, it just felt very intense at times. Another thing too, a lot of people were saying this is like polyamorous and like lesbian. There was maybe 2 scenes with just kissing, and that was pretty much it. And I was like, oh, I thought we were gonna get a little more into it, because this would have probably been a little higher if it was more into that as well. But yeah, I was a little like disappointed with that. I really wanted more of like the queer to pop, but maybe that wasn't the author's intention. Like I said, this is just from what other people were saying about the book. So maybe it was just me getting my hopes high. Just getting my hopes high, you know what I mean? There is some queerness to it, but I just wanted a little more. I felt some type of way about that because my expectations were obviously a little bit higher on that aspect. Really appreciated a lot of things in this book more than I liked the like plot itself, if that makes any sense. So I appreciate the writing. I appreciate the atmosphere. I really enjoyed the imagery in this book. I just felt like a movie was playing in my head, a wild, horror-filled cannibalism movie. And yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that. But for the plot itself, like I said, I do wish I could have got a better understanding on the where did these things come from? What are they? You know what I mean? Like, they didn't really touch on that. And I'm just a very curious creature, and I want to know those things. So that is the only reason why I did rate this a 4, not any higher. But yeah, if you're looking for something to really just transport you, if you like horror, gory, cannibalism, high stakes when it comes to some weird creatures, I don't know, I really enjoyed that. So yes, I would say this is a win. I would say if you liked any of those, those things in books, you would really enjoy this. I love me a good Gothic book. I really do. Like, I am a Gothic girl. I love Gothic books. So this definitely tickled my pickle. I'm so happy I picked it up. I'm so happy I chose this in my aardvark box. And another thing too, I was thinking about, all the aardvark books that I picked since joining aardvark earlier this year, I think I've rated them all 4 or higher. That's crazy, right? I think there's only like 2 books that I haven't read just yet. But all the books I've read from aardvark have been such a win. And that speaks volumes on the book subscription, because I love that book subscription box. So if you're hesitant on getting it, you can literally get the first box for $4. I think there's plenty of codes out there if you go on their website. But yeah, that book subscription I really, really love, and their books are so high quality and like beautiful. So yeah, I'm excited because tomorrow is the 1st, and we're gonna finally get the July picks, and I'm so excited to know what they are. I'm always sitting on the edge of my seat the day before the 1st to figure out, because they're always doing little hints on their Instagram, and I just have so much fun trying to figure it out, but I never do. I never figure it out. So yeah, I'm so excited to pick next month's box tomorrow. But yes, another freaking win. I was so happy about that, and I was so happy to freaking finish it. Like, that feeling when you finish a book is, oh gosh, man, it just brings me so much joy. And especially when I just love it and enjoyed it, definitely a win. So that is conclusion of this vlog. I will be recording my June wrap-up, so stay tuned for that. That should be coming out in a couple of days. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like it and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I hope you have a beautiful day.